You're my apparition, she's my only one. Too young to know, too old to listen. North Pine Dam, we are here. Conditions: overcast, humid, likely to get wet. All set up and ready to rock and roll. Bring it on. Okay, the game plan today is just to troll around until I can find some schools, and if I can pick one or two up on the troll in a certain area, hopefully that means that I've found an active school, and then I'll start trying some different techniques in that area. Maybe dropping some blades and some tail spinners, maybe even trying some vertical jigging with some little micro jig style lures. But that all depends on us finding some active fish to start with. So we're going to start by trolling. It's not the most exciting style of fishing. I'd much rather cast and retrieve, but there's no doubt that it's a very effective tool of searching and finding active fish, especially in an area that you're not familiar with to start with. Okay, I've just marked a school of fish, the first decent sign I've shown. I'm just going to see if I can find them again, troll back through them, and hopefully hook up. Whoop, there's something. That's good. That's good. That's good. First hit of the day. That's on an 8-metre diver, fishing in about 11 to 12 metres of water. This is on a 2 to 4 kilo rod, so fairly light. I don't think it's a huge fish. I've been reading plenty of reports that there's been quite a few catfish being caught in the lake at the moment after all of the rain that we've had. A few storms have been around of late, so there's no guarantee that this will be a bass, but I hope that it is my first bass of the day and that it does make it to the net. Either way, it certainly hit hard. Yep, it is definitely a bass. See it there through that lovely clear water. Just scoop him under into that net. Oh, that's made me feel a lot better that I'm in the right area doing the right things. Now we can see that deep diver there. It's got him well hooked. Good stuff. Decent fish too. Not big by standards of this lake, they get much bigger, but very nice nonetheless. Lovely. Send him on his way. See you, mate. This is what I'm looking for. That's what I saw before. All those fish stacked up in about 8 metres of water. Yep, that's what I thought had happened. Can I get a double? I think it's only a smallish fish. Come on, other lure. Come on. You can hook up too. Come on. Come on, other lure. You can do it. good when you make a plan and you execute that plan and it goes according to plan. If I had the technology and I had a sounder that was worth a couple of $1,000s and I could just press my button and go, okay, yes, that's the mark where they are, and take me back there and retrace my route and all of the good stuff, it'd probably be a hell of a lot easier. But I was lining up landmarks and using my memory, doing it the old-fashioned way, and came through. There we go. Once again, not a big bass for North Pine Dam, but it's a bass and it makes me happy. Come on, mate. Get that little piercing out of you. See ya. One thing I've noticed from the couple of fish that I've caught so far, they've both been on the 8-metre diver. I've got an 8-metre diver and a 7-metre diver, approximately. And one is silver and the other one is a brown colour. And both of them have been on the darker colour. It's an overcast day, so if I'm taking my cue from that, perhaps I should switch over to a darker colour on the other line. And if the next fish comes also on the darker lure, then I think that perhaps I'll switch over and put a darker lure on both sides. If the silver gets the next fish, that'll blow that theory right out of the dam. Okay, so here we go. We're coming up out of the deeper water. Starting to shallow now. This is about the area where I've started to see the fish schooling up. Oh, there we go. The brown lure does it again. Well, that seems to be fairly conclusive. Whether it's that extra metre of diving or whether it's the colour in these overcast conditions. But that's 3 trolling runs. And the brown or darker colour has had hits when the silver has gone untouched going through the same areas. So there we go. 3 bass. That tells the story. That's a good solid fish, that one. Might put him on the measure just to get an idea of how big he is. Didn't like that idea, mate. No? Decided you're going to smack me in the nuts instead. Appreciate that. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Come on now. Now you're giving yourself concussion. So he's, if you measure fork length, he's 29.5. And if you measure to the tip, he's 31. So there you go. Great little bass, lovely condition. There's much bigger out here. See you, mate. So working on the evidence to date so far, the colour lure that is doing the damage is this one, which is sort of like a browny orange colour. So the silver that I've had on the other line, which on other days has been doing really well for me, hasn't been getting any touches. This one dives a little bit deeper than the silver that I've had on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through my tackle box and I'm going to see if I've got another lure that approximates the same depth and colour as the one that's doing really well for me. And I'm going to put it on this outfit over here and double my chances. That's the theory. We'll see how it works. So I've had a bit of rummage. This is what I've come up with. A Bagley's Deep Diver 7, orangey red colour, similar to what the other lure has been, so we'll give that a crack and see. There are other variables that come into it, the size of the lure, the rattle, the swimming cadence, the depth of the dive. So a lot of things come into it, but we'll see. See how my lure theories go. Well, that didn't take long. That's the Bagley's Deep Dive 7 in the orange and red that I've just put out, and it's been absolutely hammered. And this is my heavier outfit. This is the 3 to 6 kilos Seros Okuma, and that's been hammered. Oh, that's a bigger fish than the ones that I've been hooking of late on the lighter outfit. Oh, that's going hard. So once you've hooked onto a decent fish, it's easy to let the adrenaline get the better of you, but that's not the time to panic. It's the time to try and take a couple of deep breaths, trust in your gear, trust in your knots, in your rod and your reel, and try and enjoy that moment of being hooked up to the fish. The sound of the reel screaming, because that's what you fish for. And now all I have to do is hope that it's not one of those dirty big catties that people have been catching, and instead it's one of those thumping big bass that North Point are known for. What do you know? It's one of those thumping big catfish that people have been catching. That's very disappointing. But once again, it got the adrenaline going, so look at you, you big slimy creature. Yeah, I know, you can't help it. You can't help it. You can't help it, can you, mate? No. Steady on, I'll just get the hooks out of you. Look at that big beast. Off he goes. Apart from a bit of slime, the leader's all good. The hooks are all good, good sturdy hooks that come on the Bagleys. So we're ready to rock and roll. Ah well. That was a bit of excitement. Yes, that's the Deep Dive 7 from Bagley in the orange. Let's see if it's got me a big bass. It's got some decent weight. Nice heavy hit too. Is it one of those stinky slimy catfish? Or is it one of our lovely big thumping North Pine Dam bass? It's a decent bass. Not huge. Start to pull him in sideways, I think, which was what was adding a bit of weight to him. But a good fish. And on that orangey brown red colour, which proved the theory that we were looking at, that's a better fish. That's a better fish. He probably deserved the landing net, that one. I was being a bit unfair on him. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely hook. Set straight in the nose there. Lovely. Yep, I know. That hook just pops straight out. Good on you, mate. See you, mate. So my theory about switching colours to match what had been successful on the other lure has definitely proved to be successful so far, and the Bagley, being a slightly bigger lure so far, seems to have tempted the slightly bigger, better fish.